marking the casing there, and this is a little apartment for the Japanese Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I've worked on the Sunnyvale Church, and I'm Duane Smith, and I've been a member of the Sunnyvale Church for 8 years. I'm from Redding, California originally, lived most of my life there, and I never dreamed I'd move down to the San Francisco Bay Area, but I fell in love with a sweet lady, Lori, and it was a deal breaker for a while. You know, I wasn't going to move to Sodom and Gomorrah, no way. But Lori and I went on mission trips together, and the Lord had other plans for us, and so we're on 8 years of marriage. So it's kind of interesting how I got started working on churches. When I was little, my dad loved to travel, and we didn't have very much, and I thought, you know what a waste of money traveling was. Boy, when I grow up, I'm not going to waste any money on traveling. I'm gonna spend my money on things. But there was this friend of ours that went on a lot of mission trips. Neville Gordon was his name. He came over one day and he says, "Hey Duane, you want to go to work in Hawaii?" Well, as long as I'm working, I can travel. So that was my first mission trip. But one of the things that really impacted me and made me dedicated to more mission work and more working on churches and stuff was I was on a mission in Alaska building a church, and I got acquainted with this guy, and a couple years later he phoned me. He says, "Duane, you want to go to Ushuaia, South America?" And I said, "Sure." And he says, "Well, I've promised them a church down there in this little town at the tip of Argentina, is the southernmost city in the world. They need a church, and they really need it bad." And he says, "The devil doesn't want this church built." 3 months ahead of time, I set all the materials ahead, and the devil shipped that stuff clear to Chile. And I had 75 people in Ushuaia ready to build this church, and there was no materials. It was a disaster. And the day that they were all booked to fly out, the materials came. And they couldn't change their flight plans, so he felt so bad. Almost a year later, he phoned me. He says, "Duane, I'm taking a few key guys down, and we're going to build this church for them." So we went down there, and it was cold and windy, and I was up on the roof working Friday afternoon, trying to get it roofed before sundown, and the wind came up, and we were putting the roof on, and I was leaning over the edge, getting ready to screw the metal roof on the edge, and all of a sudden 2 hands just pushed me off the roof, and I fell off the roof and just barely missed the rebar sticking up and scraped my arms on that. I honestly believe the devil pushed me off the roof, but later on I found out that the wind had caught the metal, and it had wrapped around the guy behind me, and he fell against me, and both of us fell off the roof. And we fell about 10 feet down, and I didn't break anything. The Lord protected me, and I got back up on that roof, and we finished that church for those people. And I think the Lord's given me an extra amount of time, and so I want to pay some of that back. The more we can give back to people, the more blessed we are. So I just want to give back a little bit. So thank you. I'm back to work. I'm not a talker, I'm a worker.